Experience the only cruise line in the world with authentic boutique river cruising, unsurpassed in style and elegance with an average capacity of just 130 guests. Uniworld offers luxurious riverview staterooms. Enjoy true all-inclusive cruising throughout Europe with gourmet meals, unlimited beverages, all gratuities, and so much more are included in your program price. Contact AAA Travel in Laguna Hills now to plan your unforgettable Uniworld river cruise.
Welcome back. Well, you know, great time of the year to travel, I think, because going over to some of the European countries and other countries to see how they enjoy the holidays, I think it's absolutely a great time to do that. Today we have on Maria Steich with AAA Travel. You're one of the travel agents there, and
Yes,
AAA is really close by here. And you brought along a guest, Robert Fitzgerald of Uniworld Boutique River Cruises. You've been on before. You've talked about these
glad to be back.
wonderful river cruises, and they sound great. And they really differ from being on one of those huge cruise ships where you have 10,000 people or whatever.
Very much so, yeah.
Whatever. It's getting close to that now, isn't
Right.
it? Tell me a little bit about Uniworld and what the type of things that you specialize in.
And to your point, one of the big differences where a lot of the ocean cruise lines now, they have their own zip codes. They're so large.
Yeah.
Majority of my fleet, and we are for what it's worth, an American company. We're based right out of Los Angeles.
Okay.
But we've got 12 ships in Europe, averaging about 134 guests.
Wow.
So, you know, we really look at ourselves as a floating little boutique hotel rather than a major resort.
Yeah.
Where we also differ from a lot of other travel experiences, 2014, we go all-inclusive in Europe.
Oh,
so
okay.
the guests will want for nothing, all the gratuities, all their shore excursions. It's complete and utter open bar, so all beverages, alcoholic, non-alcoholic, literally, as I say, there's no nickel and diming. Ocean cruising, river cruising. Ocean cruising's great, but in essence, you're on the periphery.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
you might be
sure.
a couple of hours drive from the port to the town. With river cruising, you look at a map, Paris, Budapest, Lisbon, Cologne, big cities, small towns, there really aren't any other rivers. So in many instances, you can walk off the ship, walk a city block, and you're right in the thick of it. So it's very intimate that way.
Yeah, and Maria, do you find that when Robert said these are all inclusive, that people are looking for that now? Sure, they might look at the upfront cost and see, okay, these are going to cost a little bit more, but when you turn around and go, you don't even have to worry about gratuities.
Correct, yes.
I think people, they don't want surprises. You're seeing that more and more as people travel nowadays, no matter where they go. If they can pay one price and say, I know I'm going to be taken care of, I'm not going to be nickel and dime.
I agree with you. It's a better value for our clients to do an all-inclusive. And I've personally traveled, I've done the river cruising through the Rhine River, and I think it's a great way to see Europe. You actually get into those countries and experience their culture. So it's a fantastic way to travel.
Yeah, I had my older sister went on one of those. And that's exactly what she said. She's going, well, you're right there. You know, you go through the little towns, you see how people live. And what are some of the most popular cruises that you have? I would have, you mentioned a couple. The one through Paris or the one through France would, of course.
I'd venture to say for someone that has never, you know, because we operate not only in Europe, but we're in Russia, China, Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Cambodia. Europe, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'll just say, for a first-time river cruiser, anything along the Rhine or anything along the Danube. Those are really the archetypal cruises where you have the mix of big cities, small towns. You go through narrow river gorges. You've got beautiful, lush valleys and farmland, rolling hills. It's everything people think of. Past that point, France is extremely popular. We're going to have a brand new cruise in Bordeaux. Starting off in the spring next year, and again, a lot of
little wine tastings, maybe.
You bet.
Okay.
I was going to say, if I had to do a psychological test, what's the first word that pops in your mind?
Yeah.
But so many of the regions we sail through, even in Germany and in the Danube and stuff, are all wine regions. So it's very much focus on there. Portugal's becoming very popular, as is Russia, also.
And you mentioned Vietnam. That sounds very intriguing.
It's very exotic. We literally, it's where river cruising in Europe is all about the ship. You're on board, whether you're with us 8 days, 28 days. South Asia is slightly different in that we use some 5-star hotels along with an 8-day cruise, and it's my smallest ship. It's only 60 passengers.
Wow.
We go to many little tiny villages, so unlike Europe, you don't want to have a mob scene with you. But the hotels are absolute 5-star. The ship is brand new. It just launched January of this year. And there's an area, a little town called Siem Reap in Cambodia. It's surrounded by these most magnificent temples that are just something out of the Jungle Book or Indiana Jones.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's one of those, check it off the list. You've been to Machu Picchu,
Yeah.
you've been to Pompeii. You really should look into Angkor Wat and Siem Reap area.
Maria, when somebody wants to find out more about this, they're interested, they can come into you. You're going to have all the information about Uniworld, the different cruises they have. But also, I would think that you could sort of walk them through kind of what are you looking for? What are the type of places that interest you, and show the cruises that Uniworld has?
Well, I think Castles Along the Rhine is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And then the Christmas markets, because that's very unique compared to some of the other, especially with the bigger cruise lines. And right now we're actually having a big AAA travel sale
Oh, really?
up until November 2nd, correct. So we have a lot of great promotions going on right now.
And
for
how
our
far in
members.
advance can people book with Uniworld cruises?
Well, they can book basically as soon as possible because they do book up.
So they can
Yes.
book well into next
Yes.
year.
Oh, definitely.
I was having a conversation outside. 2014 is, and again, I hate sounding like a salesperson, but the truth of the matter is we are selling out a lot of the cruises. Again, with such small ships, you know, it's
Exactly.
finite inventory, and people that know us, they come back and book well in advance. And I'll just mention too, with AAA, I've got a fantastic relationship with Laguna Hills office. Uniworld is a company, we really don't take direct bookings. You actually get a better price going through AAA.
Okay, that's
So
good to know.
you know, obviously for the consumer, I think it's a great way to get a great trip at a great price.
Do you find the different regions, certain times of the year are most popular? You mentioned the Christmas markets and things like that.
Summer months, just traditionally for Americans, that is travel time, so that's really high season. But in my opinion, I always get asked what's the best time to go. I prefer spring or fall. I mean, myself, I'm leaving on a cruise on this Saturday from Amsterdam down to Basel, Switzerland. It's slightly off season. There's less crowds. Generally, this is for people that have time on their hands. Airline prices usually are more reasonable.
Right.
So those are great times, but holiday markets has been a growing niche for folks that are going in. And Europe is a 4-season destination, and some places really take on a terrific, we were talking earlier, take on a really terrific air around the holiday time.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Very
it's, you know, the towns are all decked out, the ships are all decked out, and the locals are in a good mood.
Well, you know, going to those areas, you kind of, I think a lot of people, you look at those areas going back hundreds of years, sort of the birthplace of these holiday traditions
Absolutely.
that we enjoy here. I mean, the Christmas tree, come on, you know, coming over from Germany and all that. So to go to the places where a lot of these traditions originated would be just absolutely fascinating, and a lot of just wonderful. We have your number. This is 598-3470, and you're 949, I should say, 598-3470. You folks are right over here on Laguna Hills, not far away. The cross street by Alicia, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Off the 5 freeway, yes.
And this is, you know, a great way to go. I hear so many times when people go on the big cruises, one of the biggest complaints is like, well, everybody get off the ship. It's time to go ashore. And there's 2,000 people getting off the ship, all doing the exact same thing. And you just feel like you're constantly in a crowd.
You know, I mean, to be fair, I mean, everybody has their likes, dislikes. I just, for us, the positives, I think, is the intimacy and the ability to make friends very quickly on board.
Yeah, and I bet the food's fantastic, too.
Zagat's award-winning.
Yeah. All right, Robert and Maria, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Folks, again, if you want to get more information about Uniworld Boutique River Cruises, call AAA Travel at 598-3470. Contact Maria. She can help you out. And these sound wonderful. And as Robert said, they're booking up fast for next year. So, you know, Get in there.
Thanks so much. Good luck.
All right. We'll be back in just a moment with the recreation report.